Hey guys, welcome to another video. For this one, I'm doing a first impressions and pin test on this new Scribbles That Matter Pro journal that I purchased. In my Loic Term 1917 that I've been using for this year, I only have room enough for September, so I decided to go ahead and purchase a new journal and get everything set up and migrated over so that I don't have to do that in October when our baby is due, because I don't know that I will have time to set up any bullet journal then. So like I said, I went ahead and purchased this now so I can get started getting everything set up. But I'm really excited and I've been patiently waiting to open this since it came in the mail yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I already cut the top off because that's noisy and I'm not great at doing that, so I already did that. But let's go ahead and open it. So it comes in this little plastic box. And then I just threw that on the floor, whatever. And it's also shrink wrapped. So like I said, this is the dotted A5 Scribbles That Matter Pro Edition bullet journal. The reason I wanted to purchase this was because it has a thicker paperweight than the Loic Term. I think the Loic Term is 80 GSM, so I experience a lot of ghosting in that, and I have read a ton of reviews that say that this journal has less ghosting because it has 100 GSM paper. Okay, let's open it. I'm so excited. So as far as this, sorry, I got distracted because this actually feels really nice. It feels more sturdy than the other journals that I have, so that's a good thing to note. Because it is soft, I don't think you can see this at all because I'm on a white background with the white journal, but up here maybe you can see a tiny indent. On the top and bottom you can see where the elastic has pressed and left an indentation at the top and bottom of the cover. Not a big deal because I will use the elastic every time I use the journal, so you know, that's bound to happen. Alright, there is the first page that you open to. It says the following scribbles belong to, and then I guess that's where I had to put my name and the date that the journal started. And it says, tip to avoid ruining your new journal, try out all new pens on the pen test page at the end. Scribbles That Matter, A5 dotted journal, and here we have the key and the index. Now, I don't really foresee myself using the key because I don't really have a system. I just put a solid bullet where I have a task, and I put an open bullet where I have an event, just so I can differentiate between the two, and as those things come and go and I complete them, I usually just check it off. So I don't really foresee myself using the key. Index wise, I used it slightly in my Loic Term. I wasn't super consistent, but I also didn't need to reference back here for pages very often because I just knew where things were and I could flip to it, or in any active month I had my bookmarks there. So I might use this, I might not, but it is nice that it's there and I like the design of it better than others. This is one that I use all the time. This is my Artist Loft one, and you can see there's nothing at the top and it has 3 columns, but I don't know what to use this little skinny column for because I just put the title of the pages and the page numbers here on the right. So I don't like the design of this very much, but comparatively, if I used one, if I like designed one myself, this would be how I designed it. So again, 3 pages of that, and then it opens right up to the first dotted page. So the dots in this are really nice. They're a little bit darker than what I've used before, but I personally think that that will help me keep my lines straighter and get things better in order and better looking, because I make a lot of mistakes in my bullet journal, but maybe the darker dots will help me with that. The paper feels really smooth. I won't be able to talk about that much until I write on it, but let's see where we've got our bookmarks. It does lay incredibly flat. So it lays really flat and the back spine kind of creases there to allow it to lay flat, which is awesome. So I think this feature alone, it's laying more flat than a lot of the other journals that I have tried and used. So bookmark wise, standard bookmarks, they're textured, ribbed, and I think that they'll last super well. The white one will probably get dirty, but I got a white journal because I thought it was cute, so that's fine. Looking at the back, there's all of these doodles. So Scribbles That Matter has like a regular bullet journaling thing and then this pro version. And on the regular one, all of these doodles are on the front and back cover embossed the same way that these are, just all over the place. So I went with the pro version because it was more sleek and the doodles were not there, but I think it's really cute to have it on the back here. And then we've got the expansive pocket like they talked about. I really like that the side has like a fabric on it, so I feel like that'll hold up better than ones that I've used in the past. So let me find the pen test pages. Oh, this is cute. Flip through mindfulness. Flip through this journal from the first page to the last. See all the scribbles. A mirror to your past. What have you learned? How have you grown? Reflect and ponder when you are alone. And then you write, I guess, a little snippet of what you pondered and the date the journal ended. So these are the pen test pages. Okay, I'm kind of disappointed that they're not dotted because I like my pen test pages to look super even and stuff, and the dots help me keep the line straight, but that's alright. I'm gonna have to make another pen test page because I'm testing quite a few pens today, and if I test it here, I want to be able to flip over and see the ghosting and the bleeding on the other side, but I can't do that on a two-sided page, if that makes sense. So I'll probably start on this page, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on the pen test, and then I will come back and give my final first impressions. Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about the pen test and the results. So as far as writing on the paper goes, it was really smooth. It felt smoother than my Leuchtturm journal, but it was really nice to write on. So basically for the pen test, I did a single swatch here, wrote the name of the pen, and then filled in a color square over here. I didn't do it on the Marvies or these color and Marvies because there's not a two-ended thing, so this is the same thing as the square. So looking at the ghosting on that, it does not look near as bad as my Leuchtturm. Like the ghosting on my Leuchtturm, you can totally see through the page. Bleeding wise, the only one that bled was the Stabilo .88 pen. You can see where it bled a little bit there. Then on this back page, I've only got a few things. Got the Crayola Super Tips and Zebra Mild Liner, and I tried to blend out a Tombow pen. Now, I'm not great at that. That is not something I do often, but I have done it in my Leuchtturm and it's worked out rather nicely. But in this, the page got pretty flimsy and the color did not blend really well. And then when I flipped it over, it totally bled through and got on this back page, which is a little annoying, but it's okay. Like I said, that's not something I do very often, and that totally could have been user error because that's not something I do often, like I said, about 1,000,000 times so far. But as far as the bleeding is concerned, you can see here and here on the Zebra Mild Liners where I picked my pen up, there was a bit of ink that gathered. Same on the Crayola Super Tips, but it's incredibly minimal on those. But with the Zebra Mild Liners, I've noticed in every single journal that I have, where I lift my pen, the ink gathers and it bleeds a little bit. So that's kind of a con of that pen, not necessarily a con of this journal. So, you know, the biggest disappointment is the watercolor thing. Not because it didn't work, because again, like I've said 1,000 times, I don't do that often, but mainly it's disappointing because it bled over onto this last page, which I thought was super cute, and obviously I will still use it, and that does not ruin the page, but that was disappointing. So again, the ghosting of my regular pens that I use consistently, not bad at all. Even on the Tombows, like they did not ghost very much at all comparatively to other journals that I have. So I am really impressed with this so far. The paper, like I said, is really smooth. It handles ink pretty well, and I'm excited to use this more and to give a more comprehensive review in the future. As for now, those are my first impressions, and I'm really excited to get this set up and start using it. So I hope I answered some questions you might have about this journal, and I will see you in my next video.